So let's talk for a minute about what you think happens in a startup. Um, so in a startup, you think that you're going to get some money, you're going to hire a whole bunch of people, and they're all going to be your buddies, and you're going to build your idea. You're then going to go and sell this to customers, and they're going to flock to you because they're going to be like, whatever, take my money, I just want it. You think you're going to sell the products, you're going to make a huge profit, and then somebody's going to swoop in and say, hey, I want to buy your company, and you're going to take that money and you're going to retire. And none of this happens, folks. Okay. It does in the movies, it does in the great media stories, but in reality, this is not the way things happen. Really, what you want to do is you come up with an idea, you go talk to some customers, you see, hey, is this something that, would you buy it? And then would you, you then talk to more customers. Ideally, they're not friends of yours because your friends want you to be happy. They're not your family because your family wants you to be happy. They don't want to create conflict. So they'll tell you, that's a great idea. So, be careful about who you go choose to go talk to. Like I said, you want to talk to customers. You want to kind of pull these pieces together that will allow you to create something that a bunch of customers will use. Don't think of yourself as a waiter or waitress in a restaurant. You're not an order taker. You are someone who wants to go talk to customers to go figure out what are the things that would add value to them in some way, and then you have to then turn around to get them to pay for it. And I think the path looks a little something like this. You think that, this is real easy and I just ride my bicycle from one place to another, and it's not that way at all. The reality is that you're going to go talk to some customers and they're going to give you feedback that you're not going to like. And you're going to have to how do I overcome that? And then you're going to have to you're at another place and you're going to have to deal with a gatekeeper. And what's a gatekeeper? A gatekeeper is somebody who doesn't want to let you in. They don't want to give you access to whoever you want to talk to. That could be a receptionist. It could be somebody who says, well, what's in it for me? I've heard that before. It could be somebody who, just wants to be a jerk. I've seen those before. So anyway, you're going to have to figure out, how do you cross this chasm here? Do I go this way? Do I go this way? Do I get in and then I find out that, boy, I've got something here that these guys don't want, but if I had, instead of having features X, Y, Z, if I had features A, B, and C, then that might be something that they would pay for. So, think about things that way. Remember, like I said, you're not an order taker, because of being an order taker, that's called consulting. You are, trying to have those conversations, and you can figure out what's enough commonality between customers that I can have something that I can sell to those customers. Then as you get bigger and bigger, you can start looking at, okay, is there something more here? Could I charge extra for it? Can I do something more for it that will be valuable to them? Okay. So as I often say, so what are the things you need to focus on? Focus on execution on the idea. Focus on creating that minimum viable product, or an MVP. You've probably heard that state. What's an MVP? That is the minimum viable product. I look at it as it's the least amount of product that I can build where I can go and start having conversations with users about what are the features that I need. And ideally, you're talking to customers all throughout this process. You're talking to them before you build something. You're talking to them while you're building something. You're talking to them while they're testing it out. How are they using this? All throughout this process, you want to be getting feedback from customers, and you want to think about, how can I iterate on these features? You also want to think about monetization. How am I going to make money from this? Am I going to charge them something? And ideally, that's what you want to do. You want to charge them something because the business model for advertisements, unless you are the winner, like Google, like Facebook, boy, I tell you, just sticking ads around things, that is a really hard thing to do unless you're that, the big guy in this. You want to have as few people as possible. How could that be? Think about it. Think about it like this. You're not in so I'm making the assumption you're not in Silicon Valley because I'm about to throw out some numbers here, or you're not in a high, wage area. I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee. I can do some things on kind of the relative cheap. Okay, but if I had to go hire 10 people to go do development, well, 10 people are probably going to cost me $125,000, $150,000 per year per person. Okay. And that's their salaries. That's the equipment to make things work. That's all the extra stuff that I'm going to have to bring in, from desks to chairs, and get them all put together, and the rent and internet and, all that kind of stuff. So that adds up. You got 10 people at $150,000. That's $1.5 million per year. So, how are you going to go overcome that? Bottom line, you need to have as few people as possible working on your startup. You're also going to need to have not only people to build it, you have to have somebody to sell it. Okay. Now, early on, you can get by with somebody builds it and somebody sells it. And you may be both of those people at the same time. Okay, so keep as few people around as possible. But also, you'll hear the term runway. You want to make your runway as long as possible. This is how to do it right here. Okay. Also remember, nobody works for free. You hear all these things people spout off about entrepreneurial passion and all that. Passion doesn't pay the bills. Okay, it doesn't pay for my electricity, it doesn't pay for my groceries, it doesn't pay for my mortgage, it doesn't pay for a lot of things. So keep that in the understanding. Okay, these people have got to get paid. All right, so understand all those pieces as you're trying to get things set in your mind, and get from 0 to 5 miles an hour. Okay.